Hello, everyone. Josh Summers here, and I'm going to help you find gallbladder 34 on your body. And once we find the point, then we'll go to the mat and stimulate the point with a tennis ball or an acumobility ball to bring about a self-directed acupuncture kind of stimulation within a yin yoga pose. So the first thing is to find the point, and I'm going to adjust my monitor slightly here. The point, gallbladder 34, is on the lower limb just below the knee. So to find the point, I have brought my pant leg up enough above the knee so that we can start to see and feel some of the landmarks of the lower limb. Gallbladder 34, to find it though, the first thing we need to find is the head of the fibula. That's one of the bones of the lower limb. And the head is really the only part of the fibula that we can feel. But what you'll do is take your hand to the side of your lower limb here. So take your hand to the side of the lower limb, glide your hand up the side of the lower limb until the inner edge of your hand contacts a bony protuberance. This is the head of the fibula right about here. It's not on the knee itself. It's on the side, really just above the calf, above the calf flesh. So when you slide your hand up the outer aspect of your calf, on the outer aspect of the lower limb, you'll come to a bony mound. That's the mound of the great young mound of gallbladder 34. Once you find the head of the fibula here, the exact location of the point is below the head and then forward of the head or anterior of the head. So you find the head, again, sliding your hand up, finding the head of the fibula, come just below it and forward, and there's going to be a depression in that area. You're going to feel a little divot or a softness in the tone of the skin and flesh there. That's the point. It may be tender, it may not be tender, but this is a great point, as we'll see, for stimulating the energy of the body to regulate and care for the fascia. So I'm going to show it to you now on the mat. And we're going to find this point in deer pose. So I'm going to have my legs still exposed, and I'm going to use the acumobility ball that we have. You can use a tennis ball. There's a link in the course here for how you can get your own acumobility balls. What I like about these is that they have a flat surface so that they don't roll or slide. So you can put them down and really rest the point on that surface of the ball there, the rounded surface. So what I recommend doing is first coming into deer pose. So come into a version of seated deer. You can open your legs up if you like, but you'll place the ball underneath this outer aspect of the lower limb, just below the knee, below and slightly forward of the head of the fibula. And from there, just let your knee and leg rest on the point. Now, I feel a gentle stimulation there. It's a sort of a slightly dull ache, similar to a yin experience or a yin sensation. And the idea is that you'll let your body weight rest on the point for a good minute or so. Just let the body melt over that point. From there, you can play around with how you might stimulate it further for maybe another minute. And I recommend maybe holding this cumulatively for maybe a minute or two total. You don't want to stay here for 5 minutes or longer. But from here, once you've melted on the point, one thing you might do is consider leaning over to the side a little bit, lifting your foot off the floor, and then rotating your foot in clockwise and counterclockwise rotations. As Terry might say, imagining that you have a big calligraphy brush at the end of your big toe, and you're describing big circles with your foot rotation. And that's going to affect how the point is stimulated by the ball under the outer knee. From there, you might also then, as I like to do, let the foot come back down and just shimmy your torso back and forth a little bit. Shimmying your torso back and forth like this will move the body weight over the point, and you'll feel you get a little bit more stimulation. But those are the kind of the two main ways I recommend stimulating this point here. Play around with it though, but make sure you don't cause any pain. A mild, dull achiness is sort of indicated. That's a suggested sensation to play with. But if you get any sharpness, any pain, back off and do the exercise more mildly if you can. So I hope you enjoy stimulating gallbladder 34, the Hui meeting point of the sinews. It's the primary point in Chinese medicine for treating all soft tissue issues or all soft tissue conditions of the body. And as I say in the discussion, the reason for that is that primarily that this point helps the gallbladder clear the lymph or the fluid of the fascia so that the fascia can be better nourished with blood and qi circulating through the fascia. So hope you enjoy, and I'll see you in the next point.